Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be here on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful duo from Cleveland, Ohio. They've got a single out, which is from the High Strung Free Dance movie that's gotten a lot of really good reviews. And they've also got a couple of releases out. And they also have been featured in a Netflix docu-series. And they've played in Sandusky before a storm hit. And we're going to talk about how they got this very unique name. So live, ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful studios outside Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen, Jon and Nikki Stipp of Hooked Like Helen. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello,
Hi.
thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, it's great to have you guys as well, too. So you guys are based out of outside Cleveland, and you've got a couple of releases, Tragedy of Physics, Settle for Earth, and you also have a new album which is part of the soundtrack from High Strung Free Dance, and we're going to play the song Liar. That'll be the audio version of the end of the interview, and you've also been featured in Netflix docu-series Cheer. You play in Sandusky before Big Storm. We'll talk more about that. But first, before you tell us how you got started, how'd you come up with the name of Hooked Like Helen?
So, Jon and I, as you mentioned, we are musicians together in a band, but we're also a married couple, and we have a child. And the way that we met was back out in LA. I grew up in Southern California, and I was playing music out there, doing, just my solo piano gigs. And Jon moved out to LA from the Cleveland area to join a rock band called Red Circle Underground. And they were kind of like a classic rock outfit. Lots of members. There was a harmonic player. Anyway, the lead singer of the band he met me through a friend of mine whose name is Helen. And he saw one of my shows and asked me to join his band. And that is how I met Jon. And so basically, Hooked Like Helen is just a tribute to our friend who, through destiny and strange coincidences, led us together to just end up having our family and our crazy musical journey together.
And it sounds like it's too, I guess, being hooked up takes on a different meaning in that one. And first of all, Jon, tell us how you got started musically.
Oh man, way back. My parents were heavily into music. My dad loved rock. My mom loved rock. I used to, steal their CDs when I was a little kid and
bad boy. But then again, I did to records also. So go ahead.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you. Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses was the one that I was supposed to keep my hands off of, that I couldn't keep my hands off of. So pretty much since I can remember, I've loved music. It started with hard rock. I got into rap for a while, a lot of hip hop, and then the 90s hit and Nirvana, the grunge scene. I've been through everything pretty much. Green Day, punk bands. It's probably when I started to play guitar, was during that area, the era, the 90s. All those bands were really my heaviest influence.
Mm-hmm. And what was that one moment that precisely influenced you into what you're doing today?
Today, it would have to be just hearing Nikki's songwriting and really thinking that we could make something special of it.
Aw, geez.
And, just realizing before we were, even married or had Hooked Like Helen, that she was such a talented songwriter and,
Aw.
Can wear so many hats. She does so much.
That's a good answer.
Very good answer indeed. And Nikki, tell us how you got started musically.
So it's similar to John in that music's been a huge part of my life since I was a little kid. I was learning songs by ear, like at age 5 on my aunt's piano. I never really took formal lessons, but it was just music you know, took over just my heart and soul, like since I was little. And then of course, like probably around 11 or 12, when you're at that age where all of a sudden you've got these albums and these records just mean so much to you. And those artists are just like, so important to you. Every lyric, every line, that's when I was like, okay, pop music, that's what I want to do. I want to contribute something beautiful to the world that's meaningful to other people the way that this is meaningful to me.
And then unlike with John, you're not permitted to touch Appetite for Destruction. We're allowed to touch that on your side. So,
my mom probably wasn't as big of a Guns N' Roses fan as John's parents were.
I just wanted to rock.
But my mom did have some explicit Prince albums that I wasn't allowed to listen to that I listened to.
I bet you sneak it off. He goes, Mom, I'm going to check out the Purple Rain here, supposedly. So, well, at least you got a little bit of, something in common as well, too. But that's a good thing. And also, what was that one moment that precisely influenced you, Nikki, into what you're doing today?
So as far as the Hooked Like Helen project, it was, when we discovered that we were going to have a baby and be a family, we moved back out to the Cleveland area just because it's where John grew up and it's just a really nice place to raise a family and a little less chaotic than where we were in LA at the time, more affordable, all those things. So we came out here and, it was like just because we were starting this new chapter in life, we couldn't just let go of music or who we were as artists. That's always going to be there. So we were like, okay, well, let's just start demoing some things and trying some different sounds. And I totally just kind of let go of all my preconceived notions about, what kind of music I was supposed to be doing, and just started something fresh that was us together. And we wrote a song called The Beginning of August, which is, August is our son's name.
Nice.
And, it's actually like it ended up just being a demo and not anything that we commercially released. But that was definitely the moment that it was like, okay, we kind of have something kind of cool here. Let's keep going with it.
It made the move from LA to the cornfields a lot less traumatizing too.
For me.
Yeah, for her especially being from LA, just to start a new project right away to just keep the musical juices flowing.
And do you find the Cleveland music scene easier to get into than Los Angeles, or is it just the same? Or what were some of the things that you probably didn't expect about the Cleveland music scene that was compared to LA?
So it's very different in that the Cleveland scene we haven't really gotten terribly involved in, just because we've been here with our family. And there's actually very micro locally some amazing artists. Emily Keener, who was a contestant on The Voice, grew up just the next cornfield over from us. So we've been able to collaborate with her and some other bands that were just really, really cool right here. But nothing was too heavy industry-wise. So because of the internet, we've been able to, the placements we've gotten and the stuff with the movies and soundtracks and everything has actually just still kind of been LA-based for the most part.
And who are some of your favorite artists and musicians and singers and especially guitar players growing up as well, too? So one of you can go ahead going first.
Growing up?
Yeah, growing up. Besides the ones you mentioned, who are some of your other ones that you grew up as well?
I would say my favorite bands of all time, I'll just go ahead and say it. Green Day is my number one. They always will be. They spoke to me from a young age. That's the reason I picked up a guitar. It's Billy Joel, his songwriting. Smashing Pumpkins, was in love with them for a very long time, still am. You can't put on a Smashing Pumpkins album and, have a song that I don't enjoy. And then I really liked some hardcore stuff. I loved a band called the Deftones. They're still out there doing it. Pretty much any band that really brought the energy live and impressed me live. And, when you left sweaty and you left knowing that band left their heart and soul on the stage. Those are the type of bands that I truly love.
That is fantastic. And how about you, Nikki, as well, too? Besides the artists you mentioned, who are some of your other favorites growing up?
So I love pop music. I love a good structured pop song from any genre and any decade. I loved Carole King growing up, the Tapestry album. I love Billy Joel, Michael Jackson, Madonna. Also Nirvana. At the end of the day, really solid melodies. So I like some of the heavier stuff too. Yeah, just like a pretty eclectic, Jewel. Her debut album was amazing. John Denver, lots of stuff.
That sounds amazing as well, too. We'll talk about some of your works as well, too. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple, over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Jon and Nikki Stipp of Hooked Like Helen, based out of Cleveland, Ohio, here on the Mike Wagner Show. You have a couple of releases out called Tragedy of Physics, Settle for Earth, and you also have a single called No Turning Back, Get Well, Beautiful Work, and more. And tell us all about your releases.
So we have 2 EP releases. Settle for Earth was 2017, and that was our first, official release after we've been doing some demoing, as I mentioned before. And we record everything here in our little home studio in our bottom level of our split level, which is amazing. Technology in 2020, that's one of the perks of living in this era is, we can have our keyboard and our laptop, and our monitors, and, we can just go and we can create.
This keyboard is like 175 different keyboards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the plugins.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Yep. With the software. I was like, it is. So we tracked Settle for Earth, and we released that. We self-released that, and then just in 2019 we released Tragedy of Physics, which is another 5-song EP, and that includes singles like No Turning Back and Liar, both of which ended up on the soundtrack for High Strung Free Dance, the film.
And did you say No Turning Back, Get Well, and Beautiful Work also was part of the High Strung Free Dance, or was it just Liar? Just want to clarify.
Liar, No Turning Back, and Surface Break are on the High Strung Free Dance.
Got it. Okay. All right. So go ahead and tell us a little bit more about the songs, and what do you base your lyrics on too, as well too? Is this like, life experiences, a story, or anything like that? And tell us more about the singles, and also tell us more about what inspired you to write the lyrics, or where the inspiration comes from those songs.
So I am the primary lyric writer and most of the melodies and stuff. So I write autobiographically most of the time, 90% of the time. And even sometimes I just sort of go strain of consciousness with it, and it's sort of whatever flows out of me. And then it starts to kind of paint a picture. And then that picture sort of, all of a sudden I realize like why my subconscious kind of came up with this stuff, like, oh, this is what I need to work through. This, whatever's going on personally in my life is really what ends up fueling it. And because, we're so close, Jon becomes involved as soon as I get a melody and a chord progression and a few lyric ideas going, I grab Jon and we start collaborating pretty much immediately on it and bouncing. I can bounce ideas off of him and he can say, I don't think so. Or like, yeah, like don't forget about that. And then him being a bass player, like we can really get the groove going, pretty quickly, even before we've written any drum parts, which is awesome. And, like for Liar, which is the song that has like the most prominent placement in the dance film, there's a beautiful dance that's choreographed to it and everything. I had written that about something that had happened in my past when I was much younger. And at the time that I wrote it, it was really cathartic for me because, I was able to say, wow, this person hurt me and it was awful, like a long time ago, but, I'm better now. And then it just ended up being like, poetic justice that the song ended up in this film and, you know, taking us on this crazy musical adventure. We got to make a music video for it in Bucharest, Romania. So we got to travel, yeah, and work with the amazing cinematographer, Viorel Sigrovici, from the film and the rest of his crew, you know, who had all worked on the movie as well. And yeah, it's just been a crazy dream. It's been awesome.
And it sounds like it. Now, did you get approached by the producers about the song to be in the film, or how did this come about?
So one day, a few years ago, I was scrolling through Facebook, and there was an ad for a free songwriting contest. All you had to do was just upload an iPhone video of you playing one of your songs. And so Jon filmed me just playing a stripped down version of Liar, just piano and vocal and a little bit of a string arrangement. And we uploaded it and forgot about it. And then, you know, a few months later, we were emailed that we won the grand prize.
Oh, nice.
So we were able to fly to LA and meet the writer and director, who is another husband and wife team, Michael and Janine Damien, of this film, High Strung. And they are just amazing people. It was a wonderful day at the studio. It was at Studio City Sound. We basically they had High Strung, which was the first movie, and it was doing incredibly well overseas.
It was out.
And it was out at that time. And they were getting ready to write the script for the sequel, High Strung Free Dance. And they said they loved Liar. They loved the song so much. We retracked it that day there in the studio. And they said, you know, they couldn't promise that the song was going to end up in High Strung Free Dance because they hadn't even written the script yet. But, you know, hopefully it would. And so we're just chalked it up to, wow, what a great day. What a great experience. And then we ended up getting the phone call that Liar is definitely going to have a scene in the movie. They had written a whole sort of turn of events in the script around the song. And yeah, the next thing we know, we're watching Juliette Doherty, beautiful dancer, just dancing to our music, you know, choreographed by Tice Diorio from So You Think You Can Dance, and up on the big screen. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And quickly tell us about what High Strung Free Dance is all about and where can we find the movie?
So it was, I just feel bad. I'm like talking so much.
No, you're good.
So it is about a young dancer in New York City who ends up making it into this Broadway play. It's like, I don't want to give the plot away. She meets a young, talented pianist who is also in this play. The director is young and talented. They're all young and beautiful. They're all talented. And it turns into a love triangle. But ultimately, it's the most amazing dancing, amazing choreography. The composer for the film, Nathan Lanier, is just amazing. So like all of the music is just gorgeous and just so emotional, and the whole, you know, the cinematography is beautiful. Anyway, it is on Netflix in the UK and in Canada and the US right now. It will be on Netflix in the UK and Europe at a later date.
That sounds great as well, too. We'll talk about a couple of your other accomplishments as well. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Jon and Nikki Stipp of Hooked Like Helen here on the Mike Wagner Show, based outside Cleveland, Ohio. We'll be playing the song Liar in our audio version at the end of the interview. So if you want to hear the song Liar by Hooked Like Helen, you can look for it at the audio interview at the end of the show as well, too. You also been featured in Netflix docu-series Cheer as well, too. And tell us more about that.
So that was really cool. And it was a little bit, we had done some custom writing before. We'd done some placements before. We've had music placed in the Kardashians and Bad Girls Club. and an MTV docu-series prior to that. And I'd also done a little bit of custom writing actually for High Strung Free Dance. Liar and Surface Break had already been written, but No Turning Back was written specifically for the trailer of the movie. And also I wrote 2 other songs for the film under just pseudonyms, under like other artists. But anyway, I hadn't really done like cue composing before, so I was approached to do this, and it was sort of a last-minute thing. They had an amazing composer for the show, but they ended up having to make some last-minute changes and needed to add just more music in a very short amount of time. So I said, yeah, I'll give it a whirl, and in basically, I had like maybe a day or something for this deadline for each one of these, because they had to lock these episodes, and it's across, I've got 9 scenes across 4 of the 6 episodes. So it was sort of like a flying by the seat of my pants type of a deal. But it was incredibly fun and really cool, because I was given these scenes and I was like, wow, okay, this show is like, this is really good. This is not what you would think typically a cheerleading documentary would be like if you don't know about the sport of cheerleading, which I did not at the time. I was like, this is, these are serious athletes. This is serious injuries. They have really tragic stories in their personal lives. I love these characters. So it was just amazing to get to write music to underscore their lives and the way they'd been documented. And then it was just so extra that the documentary ended up being so well received. It basically went viral immediately. Twitter blew up over it. Reese Witherspoon loved it. And it was just really, really cool and an honor to get to be a part of it, for sure.
And of course, Jon was there to help you along the way.
Absolutely.
Oh, most definitely, because I was sitting there going, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, you got this.
Of course you can.
and plus, you had a historical moment. You played in Sandusky at the Sandusky Theater, but then a big storm hit as well, too. And, tell us about that. Why was that considered historical for you guys?
Was it the day off? The day after?
I think it's about a week later.
Okay, so yeah, everything's closed down because of coronavirus, and we were approached by the director of the theater, who just happens to be a listener of ours. Very nice guy.
Super cool.
Really, really cool guy. And wanted to do something at the theater, wanted to get some music in there. It's been quiet for too long. So we were all about it. What a great time to be able to get on stage during this, messed up time. We're going to go ahead and jump on it. So our newspaper here in town covered it, live streamed it. It all went really well. It was really fun. Bunch of people in our town watched. And then I guess it was a week later.
Maybe even like a week and a half, something.
Yeah, not too much.
Not long
time
in the
goes
history
by at all.
in the history of this theater, this 100-year-old theater.
Yeah, 100. Do we know what year it was?
It was roughly 100 years ago.
All right, so about 100-year-old theater. Right there on Lake Erie. So there's some pretty major nasty storms that happen right there off of Cedar Point, downtown Sandusky, and a storm hit and literally ripped the roof and the whole back end of the theater completely off.
Wow.
Yeah. Bricks everywhere.
It looked like bricks, just
like an explosion almost.
Like an explosion happened. They were calling it, wasn't a tornado. They were calling it, can't believe I'm from Cleveland and I can't remember this. What were they calling it?
Rogue something.
Yes.
I don't know.
Something that's just under a tornado. Real quick freak wind phenomenon happens up here on the lake. And the coolest thing, the whole town is supporting the theater. They're going to rebuild. There's this massive, beautiful chandelier inside of the theater that was somehow untouched, left undamaged, which was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I just saw in the news. They lowered it and they took it to storage. So they are going to rehang it once they get the theater rebuilt. So it's just kind of crazy, that we were.
Yeah, it was already a trip to be in there. It's a pretty large theater, and it was completely empty. So it was just like surreal to play there. And then we already felt grateful during that time to be able to do that, and then for it to just kind of like be gone after that, it was like, wow, like just super appreciative that we were able to play there when we did.
Yeah,
that is amazing. And you guys were part of it before it came down. You could say you were the last to play at the original theater. That's just amazing.
That's correct.
So
yes.
crazy.
And it was perfect timing as well, too. We have a few minutes with Jon Nikki Stipp of Hooked Like Helen here on the Mike Wagner Show. Love to have you guys back on 2020. You guys have been fantastic. And just a few more things here. What plans do you have coming up in 2020 and beyond, and what can we expect from you guys in, say, 2020, 21 and afterwards?
So we are currently working on a new EP. We've got some fresh Hook Like Helen songs that we're cooking up right here. And they will hopefully be out in the fall, we're thinking. And then we also have a residency at Cedar Point, which is the big roller coaster amusement park here in Sandusky, for the month of August on select dates. So we're, again, grateful that even during this crazy time with this pandemic that we, when almost all bands are not able to play live, because Cedar Point, knows so much about safety and protocol, they've got this set up so that their guests and the performers can be safe and still enjoy the live music atmosphere. As far as 2021 goes, a lot is contingent upon what happens with all of the virus stuff. We had planned to do a mini tour back in March, and it got canceled. March 13th, we were supposed to play at Stella's Music Club in Cleveland, and we'd had to pull the plug on it and had to pull the plug on several other dates. So hopefully what's in our future is a tour in 2021, but that will depend on the world at that point. And if we end up having to do live streams, we have to do live streams. It's cool.
All right, so we're looking forward to that as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influences in your careers?
Jon.
Me?
Yeah,
as
you.
a person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You incredibly influenced my career. Like after,
Wow.
getting together with Jon and, as my husband and also as my musical partner, I feel like I got so much better and our music got so much better and I took risks and was brave in a way that I never was before.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And she has made me a better bass player, 100%.
Yeah, because I'm mean.
100%. She's mean. She tells me. Do it better.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
I would say learn how to do as much as you can on your own as early as you can. And I guess what I mean by that is, it's possible to be an independent artist these days, but you have to wear a lot of hats and you have to have a lot of skills. And it can't just be, unfortunately, about writing good songs or playing well or singing well. Us learning how to record ourselves was huge.
That was everything for us.
Was everything. Web design and photography and, having an eye for cover art and branding and social media and all these things, just the more you can own the rights to your own stuff and control over your own stuff and save your money when you can, the better. So invest in yourself early.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really good idea. Once again, Hooked Like Helen with Jon and Nikki Stipp here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase and listen to music? And also, where can they check out the film High Strung Free Dance?
So we are Hooked Like Helen. We have hookedlikehelen.com. You can find all of our social media, music videos there. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram's my personal favorite. Anywhere you can find music, you can find us as far as online. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube is a big one. We got some music videos we work super hard on there. Amazon Music, I don't know if I said that. Yep, we have a new album coming out. We've got music out now. And if you're going to be in the Cleveland area or the Sandusky area, Northeast Ohio, you should definitely come to Cedar Point in August to see us.
Sounds great. Guys, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to again soon. Do us a favor, keep this up to date. Love you back on sometime in 2020 and beyond. You guys have been great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. So nice to meet you.